Comicstorian. Growing up in Nigeria for a good portion of my life, before I moved there, I began my love for superheroes, even though it was in the infancy stages of like a love for a medium. However, when I got there, it was kind of a barren wasteland of comic books. Like there was no place you could really buy comic books. At least as I knew of, right? There was no places I knew of that you could buy comic books. Yet I wanted something because you had like stuff like the Arrowverse, the Flash, with Grant Gustin them. You had like the MC. Those were all popping off around that time, and I wanted somewhere I could go deeper, learn more about these characters, continue exploring with them. And there was nothing like that. Until I found Comicstorian. What Comicstorian was, who he was this guy who took all these comic books. You had like the House of M, you had the Clone Saga, you had Flashpoint Paradox. He took all these big events comic books and he would break down those comic books, like he would read them to you with the voices of the characters. So he brought them to life. Um and it's hard not to I don't think I can express how impactful that was as a kid, right? Because I was like, this was like my thing. Like, yeah, people love soccer, yeah, people love music. This was my thing. And, like, you couldn't really like there was like no soccer ball to kick, right? There was no instrument to play. Yet there was a person on YouTube who I've never met, by the way, who brought these comic books to life. And I think that's something I've always been appreciative of. 'Cause I think comic books and superheroes have played a big role in the person I grew up to be, in my interests, the way I approach people, stuff like that. I think it's amazing I'm incredibly grateful that someone did that, right? And then you have like a lot of the, I guess, OGs when it came to that. You had like Comics Explained, you had like Dan, I'm forgetting the name of his channel, but Dan was another great one. I think it was really awesome. It's like, having those comic books, like, it was really cool because obviously those stories were amazing. But you had other people who were interested in superheroes, but like they didn't know about the channel. It's like he would have all of this like kind of like secret knowledge. Like when they talk about an MCU movie or a DCU movie, right? You have like all this, and I was like, oh dang, you probably don't know this happened in the comics and all that. And it was really great. It was a fun time. I say all of this because he passed away around this. I don't know if it was around this time, but he passed away 1 year ago. I think as a person, that I've never met, I would have loved to meet him. As a person, he's kind of like one of those people you look up to in terms of what you want to do with your life, right? Because I think for me especially, it's easy to get lost in like, okay, I want to do X, Y, Z. I want to do research in world models. I want to do doing quantum research. I want to build my own startup, stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, from when you're born to when you die, you want to at least have like a good impact on one person, right? I think I'm really like looking at the comments on I think his anniversary post right now, and it's really interesting because like there's a lot of diverse impacts he's had in different people. I think that's the type of person you want to aspire to be. At least I want to aspire to be in some way, right? It doesn't really matter the impact. It doesn't have to be through a chat GPT rapper, right? It doesn't have to be a BTB SaaS. It's gonna be like like you want to be able to make one person's day better, right? Um, I'm truly grateful. I'm truly grateful. I think it's something that I cannot emphasize. There's like no combination of words that I can put together to properly express how grateful I am for that YouTube channel as a kid. Um, I think I just want to do this as a video 'cause I don't think I ever properly talked about his death and his passing. Because really, I cannot stress enough. Like from like I think 7, 10, 11. I don't know the age, but from that age to like now I'm 19. Like the the impact is tremendous, right? I think you can see it like you maybe even this could be traced back to that. 'Cause like, oh wow, YouTube videos are really cool. Maybe in 10 years I want to do something similar. Um, I don't know though. I think it's amazing. I think it's something I want to continue aspiring to, right? Each day just making at least one person's day better. I think I kind of lose that every now and then, like through like the flow of everyday life. Like there's obviously stuff I'm focused on, like finals right now, like all those little things. It's easy to get lost the goal of just improving one person's day. But I think I want to go back to that. Right? It doesn't have to be some big thing each day, but just like holding the door for someone, something like that. Maybe a compliment a day. Just continuing stuff like that will be a nice way. But besides that though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.